This week I set myself a challenge to go 7 full days without feeling stressed as a new dad. No snapping, no feeling overwhelmed, and no wandering around the house feeling like everything's piling up and I'm super stressed. Because recently it feels like life is coming at me from every single direction. Work, a newborn, trying to train, and trying to be a good husband at home. And honestly, this challenge nearly ended on day 1, but it made me realise something really important about being a dad. Being a dad's incredible, but it's also chaos. You're trying to run a career, trying to be present at home, you're trying to sleep whenever the baby decides you're allowed to sleep. And somewhere in the mix of all of that, you're supposed to train, eat well, and look after yourself. Drink some water. And I'll be honest with you, if you don't do those things, you become more tired, more reactive, and less patient. And something creeps in that not a lot of other dads talk about, and that is guilt. Like, for example, Kaylee is out with Archie, and I feel guilty because I'm not out with them, but I've got work to do. I need to be at home to finish my work. I also need to get to the gym. So let me just film this little bit and then I'll get myself to the gym. But going back to the feeling of guilt, you often feel like you're not doing enough. You feel like you're not present enough. And sometimes you even feel like you're not the dad you thought you'd be. And I've definitely had those moments. But recently I've started questioning something. Do dads actually have to live stressed all the time? Or have we just accepted this as normal? Okay. Last week we got to 102.5. So this is my first working set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3. Wasn't very smooth, but felt all right, you know. So let's go to 102.5. Of course, go all right at the back. 101.25. 102.5. Supposed to have 2 minutes rest. Oh, it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll try that again in a minute. Tempo's off. Probably would have folded myself in half. I think I'll take my 2 minutes. Want to say something for the channel? Maybe you want to introduce yourself? A lot of dads think stress is just part of the job. Like, once you become a dad, you're supposed to be exhausted, you're supposed to feel overwhelmed, and you're supposed to run yourself into the ground. But the more I thought about it, the more I realised something. That mindset helps nobody. Does it? Doesn't help anyone, does it? No. Doesn't help me. Doesn't help you. No, it doesn't. Doesn't help you. It doesn't help your partner. Especially doesn't help your baby. Does it? It doesn't help you. No. Because when you're constantly stressed, you're not actually present. You're just there. And that's not the dad I want to be. Is it? Is it the dad you want me to be? No, I didn't think so. Yeah. You got my nose. You let go of my nose. You let go of my nose. Get off my nose. So this week I tried something. Instead of letting stress build up all day, what would happen if I actually managed it properly? No escaping life, just managing pressure better. So I focused on 3 things this week. Nothing complicated, just simple habits to help stress stop spiraling. So the first thing is something I call the 5-minute reset. And it sounds pretty simple, it's because it bloody is. So whenever things start feeling chaotic, stuff like baby crying, work piling up, lack of sleep and sleep deprivation, I just step away for 5 minutes instead of just ploughing through it like I normally do. No phone, no noise, just breathe and reset. And then I always just come back a little bit calmer. 5 minutes sounds small, but it stops stress turning into frustration. The second thing I worked on this week was delegation. Dads are terrible at this. We try and carry out everything on our own. But this week I asked for help at work, at home, just small things. And something interesting happened. The pressure lifted a lot faster when stress was building, because parenting is a team effort, not a solo endurance event. What do you think, mate? Tell them that, mate. Yeah.
It's time for your bottle, isn't it? Let's do your bottle. Okay.
Third thing was learning to say no more. Now this one's a big one for me, because if you say yes to everything, you have zero time left for the things that actually matter to you and your family. I started cutting out things that just weren't essential. Extra commitments, pointless distractions, and just things that don't push my life forward. And suddenly there was more time to do the stuff that actually mattered. Family commitments, time to train, and generally just being more present at home. So remember when I said this challenge nearly ended on day one? Well, this was the moment. So Archie barely slept, which meant we barely slept. I had a full day client check-ins to do. I had a few programs to write and loads of messages to reply to. About midday, everything started stacking up. Emails, work problems, client messages, just general noise. Couple that with me being tired, I normally would have felt that pressure building up and then just tried to plow straight through it. But this time I stopped, took 5 minutes, reset, and completely changed the rest of my day. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because I didn't let stress spiral. And here's the thing I'm learning about fatherhood. Your kids don't need a perfect dad. They need a dad who has energy. Energy to play, energy to be patient, and energy to be present when it counts. And stress drains that more than anything else. That's why I train. That's why I stay disciplined. It's not just for me, it's for them. It's for Archie and it's for Kaylee. Because a dad with energy changes the whole house for the better. So, did I go an entire week without stress? No. That's unrealistic. Life still happens. But what changed this week is how I handled life in general. Instead of stress building up all day, I dealt with it early. And the difference that makes is huge. And that is what this challenge is about. Not pretending I've figured it all out. Just documenting the process of trying to become a better dad each week. If you're a dad watching this, I'm curious. What stresses you out the most right now? Work, sleep, trying to balance everything. Because none of us are fighting this alone. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, because every week I'm documenting what it looks like for me to stay strong and disciplined whilst being a brand new dad. Not perfect, just better than last week.